Andhra Pradesh and Odisha are bracing for impact as cyclonic storm Phailin is making its way towards the coast. It's now intensified into a severe cyclonic storm according to the Met Department and is expected to make landfall by Saturday evening. There's already heavy rainfall in some parts of Andhra and Odisha, and the coastal districts are on high alert. Wind with a speed of 45 to 50 kilometers an hour is blowing across the coast. The army has been placed on standby and ready for deployment at short notice in the two states. A section of government employees in coastal Andhra who were on strike for nearly 2 months to oppose the central government's decision to divide the state returned to work Thursday to participate in relief and rehabilitation.
The landfall time, the wind speed would be 175 to 185 kilometers as we expect. So it has been converted into a very severe cyclonic storm.
So that means that it's going to cause more damage. Now, this map, you say you've procured it from US Navy. This gives you the direction of the cyclone. Please explain this to us and also tell us how many areas, how many villages is this cyclone going to impact?
Generally, this radius is roughly 250 kilometers. So it's a 500 kilometer span. As we see, it is hitting the near port of Gopalpur in Ganjam district. So the district which are affected in our state is Ganjam, Gajpati, Khurda, Puri and Jagatsinghpur. But we have alerted the entire coast, and that will, after the cyclone hits, we expect heavy rainfall in the interior districts.
Right.
So you have alerted in total 21 districts out of 30 in the state. The more it moves north, the whole state comes into the grip of cyclone. The first and foremost thing for the government is to see that there is no casualty. We have issued instruction to these collectors that within 5 kilometers of the radius, since there will be storm surge, all the people in Kacha houses should be evacuated to the cyclone shelter or flood shelters.
All right, so there you saw details of how it's likely to hit Odisha. Remember, the cyclonic storm is still some distance away, though it is moving up, and overnight it has been upgraded now to very severe. The army has been called on standby. Well, we're now joined on the phone line by Surya Narayan Patra, the Odisha Revenue and Disaster Management Minister. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. Can you tell us what sort of preparations the state government is doing for Cyclone Phailin?
Well, we have made all the preparations to protect the life of the people. We have asked the people who are staying in the coastal line within the 5 kilometers radius of the sea line to shift to the higher places. We have identified the different high schools, colleges and other institutions where these people who are staying in the 5 kilometer distance of the seashore, they will be shifted today to those places. And we have asked the people who are staying in theatre houses, they will go into the nearby school. That organization has been made. Huge quantity of food material has been sent there to prepare cooking and everything. 1 lakh packets of food packet has been prepared, which will be dropped from the air. NDRF team and ODRF team is alert all over the state. And Army has been requested by our CM to the Home Minister and the Defence Minister. They have also issued to be ready. Helicopter is ready, and we are watching the situation. It has been expected that the cyclone will touch the Odisha coast between Paradip to Kalingapatna, and it will touch mainly Gopalpur and sea by tomorrow night. So all the preparations are going on. We have cancelled the government holiday for all the 30 districts, and also all secretariat will function in the holiday also, because subsequent to the cyclone there will be heavy rain for 3 days all over the state. And we have released the water from Hirakud reservoir to the sea to keep the reservoir empty so that future rainwater will stock there. Similarly, other reservoirs also we have made it empty, and all the preparations have been made by the government. Food material, stock. Our first priority is rescuing the people's life, then communication, then electricity, then water, then rehabilitation. That's the program we have taken up.
All right, Mr. Patra, so you're saying all preparations in place. People have already been asked to move out. There is heavy rainfall happening. Do you think the state's in a better position, better prepared than it was back in 1999, of course, when that super cyclone had hit?
In 1999, the cyclone, in particularly southern Odisha, the wind speed was 150 kilometers. But right now, what were the IMD intimation to state government that the wind, the low pressure has been turned to a severe cyclone, and at present the wind speed is 200 kilometers per hour. So when it will touch to the coastline, I think it may increase to 230, 240. So it will be more severe than the last cyclone. So accordingly, we are preparing.
All right, sir. So you're saying it could be more severe than the 1999 cyclone. That's what you're understanding from the Met Department?
Yeah, in 1999, the state was not that much prepared at that time. But out of our experience in 99 cyclone, we have learned a lot of things. Recently, we have developed our infrastructure. We have a lot of equipment to immediately clean the roads and everything. We have created the ODRAP team, Odisha Disaster Risk Mitigation Force,
Right.
from more than 1,000 people. They have been placed in the position with all the equipment. And we try our best. Of course, we are fighting against the nature. I can't say how much you can face it, but it is a challenge to the government officers of the Odisha state and public of the state, how much they can bravely face this cyclone.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. That was Surya Narayan Patta, the Odisha Disaster Management Minister, telling us that all preparations are in place. People have been evacuated from low-lying areas, people living within 5 kilometers of the sea, and also telling us that their understanding from the Met Department is that this cyclone possibly could be more severe than the one that hit Odisha in 1999. Remember, that was a devastating super cyclone. Well, for more on what the Met Department has to say about the cyclone, let's go across to Divya.
Yes, Gauri, certainly our worry is that it should not be as bad as the cyclone that we saw in 1999 that claimed 10,000 lives. But as the Met Department wasn't thinking it's likely to be that bad, but as the cyclone is progressing, we're seeing it's likely to get really bad, in fact, in the coming 24 hours. As far as the cyclone is concerned, it's right now 590 kilometers away from Paradeep and about 600 kilometers away from Gopalpur, which is where it's likely to make landfall on the evening of the 12th. That's tomorrow. But the maximum sustained speed is likely to be 205 to 215 kilometers per hour. But at the moment, the speed is around 45 to 55 kilometers per hour, gusting to about 65 kilometers per hour. That's what it's like at the moment. The landfall is likely to be on the evening of Saturday, but heavy damage can be expected in these coming hours because lots of showers are expected, more than 25 centimeters across many areas. Large area is expected to get lots and lots of showers. That's the areas around Odisha as well as Andhra Pradesh. Gargi.